everyone. Welcome to the maiden season of Monday Motivation with Mykee. Thanks for tuning in. We all have that Monday sickness, felt to a certain degree, experienced in different life stages, whether you're a student, a working professional, or a parent. More often than not, the start of the work week triggers feelings of stress and anxiety for most of us, even before it has begun. I too have struggled for quite some time with these Monday blues, from the time I entered the workforce, while I was trying to climb up the corporate ladder, and up until juggling household responsibilities and childcare as a first-time parent. But truth be told, Monday is not the dreaded first day of the working week. It can be any other day when the tides of negativity has taken over you and you lose the drive to finish that report or presentation your boss or teacher requires from you. And even worse, when those episodes of being defeated in the mind become a mental habit, it can escalate ultimately to that day that drains you of hope in your life aspirations. At Monday Motivation with Mykee, we'll dive into the roots of personal empowerment to unlock the power that comes from within. You'll basically find here two program formats. First, 15-minute booster talks, and second, 30-minute Q&A sessions with high-powered individuals. So make sure to tune in for your weekly dose of motivation and more every Mondays. Episode today is entitled See Beyond. How do you see yourself 5, 10, or 15 years from now? What have you written in your vision board that you want to attain in the near future? For the youth, it might be an ambition to enter and graduate in a prestigious university. For young professionals, it might be to be in a stable, high-paying job that provides for the needs of the family. Whatever it is, dreams in your mind are the starting point of life's journey as you create a picture of the future. A few years ago, 614 Filipino youths were surveyed across 54 provinces in the Philippines. This survey lasted for 7 years, from 2013 to 2019, where 7 in 10 respondents said no to one question. Do you have a dream in life? Sadly, 70% of Filipino youth do not have a dream. Top 3 reasons for not having a dream are discouraging words from others, lack of opportunity, and poverty. Now, we need to understand that our brain is one of the laziest organs in the body, and its pattern of thinking is heavily dependent on what we see in the present state. What they answered are just actually barriers of the moment. The main reason they could not conceive a dream is because of the inability to see beyond these current circumstances. So how can we learn to see beyond? Whether it's in the discipline of sports or in the field of business, we can learn a thing or two from the most iconic players or brands plying their trade for many years in their respective battlefields. David Beckham, Lionel Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo. What do these three have in common? They're champion footballers. They're also Instagram icons. In their unique skill, they're free kick specialists. Scoring a goal in a free kick scenario is possible not because of the absence of barrier walls. Scoring is also not done by the act of kicking, but with the act of visualizing how the ball overcomes a wall and directed to score a goal. Apple, Burger King, and CNN. What do these companies have in common? They're all made in America? Yes. They also have founders who are visionaries. But little do people know that these companies were born in periods of economic crisis. However, their founders possessed foresight, where they saw opportunity in the midst of crisis. Shall we take a quick dive into the beginning of some of these brands to find deeper inspiration? Burger King. Its first restaurant opened amid the post-Korean War recession in 1953. That time, the US GDP dropped 2% and unemployment grew to 6%. But despite the economic climate, one truth Burger King realized is people must eat, and one thing Americans love is a good burger. To date, Burger King is operating in over 70 countries, and it's outperforming McDonald's in burger sales per year. CNN. In 1980, inflation rates in the US reached to 22% that caused the economy to slow down. But it was during that time when media entrepreneur Tim Turner felt Americans needed to be connected more than ever. So he introduced the first channel in the US with 24 hours news coverage, which is Cable News Network, or CNN. Apple. It was during the dot-com crash in 2001 when Apple's transformation began. Despite the market crash, Apple launched the iconic iPod, where this 5-gig device allowed music lovers to put 1,000 songs in their pocket. Not only was it a game changer back then, but it also paved the way for future developments of the iPhone and the iPad. To date, Apple is the most valuable brand in the world with a brand value of $200 billion. So regardless of industry, from food to media to technology, it pays to see beyond the current crisis, and history has consistently rewarded those with foresight and fortitude. One of my business mentors taught me the Chinese word for crisis, or weiji. One brushstroke in the character represents danger, but the other stroke for opportunity. In times of crisis, while we must recognize the danger, there's also an opportunity to see that stands beside it, just as how Burger King, CNN, and Apple overcame recessions in recent decades. So what's the secret of elite athletes or even business founders? It's visualization, forming a new picture of the future state. When we visualize, our brain forms new neural pathways that move our heart from what is to what can be. Feeling stuck in your present position? It's time to give visualization a shot. Seeing beyond starts with visualization. A few years back, I once visited Italy for a business trip and learned the story of one of the masterpieces of world-renowned artist, Michelangelo. He's a hero in his hometown of Florence and considered as one of the greatest artists of the Renaissance period. Once, Michelangelo was commissioned by the Medici family to create a statue for the main square in Florence. The Medicis were the wealthiest and most powerful family in Italy at that time, and the commission for a statue from the Medicis was not only a great honor, it was also a task that could not be refused. For 2 years, Michelangelo searched for a block of stone he could use as base for the statue. And finally, on a side street of Florence, he found a huge slab of marble lying on wooden trestles and called workmen to haul the block of marble to his studio. He then began the long, hard job of hammering and chiseling, and it took him 2 years to create the rough outline and 2 more years polishing and sanding before the statue was complete. Now, the day came for the unveiling of the statue, and thousands of people all over Italy gathered for this momentous event. As it was unveiled, the audience were in awe by the beauty of the enormous statue, which was named the David. After the ceremony, Michelangelo was asked, "Sir, how were you able to create such a masterpiece?" His response, "I saw an angel in the marble and carved it until I set him free." When Michelangelo first saw the marble stone block, it didn't just remain as a formless raw material in his heart, but he visualized it as a majestic angel. His eyes that went beyond its original state transformed it into a new dimension. This transformation is also true in our life. Even before the COVID-19 pandemic has struck the world and crippled economies, countless people have lived a dreamless life. Why? Because their eyes are only fixed on the current circumstances, in their present setbacks. How can we learn to see beyond? Through visualization. This exercise is the secret of elite athletes and CEOs, which trains the heart to see opportunities in the midst of obstacles and crisis. What then is the product of visualization? A mental image or a new picture, from what is to what can be. If we look deeper, we'll see that our primary thoughts dwell in the first dimension of what we actually see, a hindrance or a huge stone block standing in the way, just as what Michelangelo has first seen in the side street of Florence. We need to break these primary thoughts with tools, a mental hammer and a chisel to carve the next dimension. Transformation then comes to life when primary thoughts are eliminated. It's not a rock, but an angel. It's not a crisis, but an opportunity. We need to start breaking and pounding and shattering those rocky thoughts to uncover the angelic masterpiece that's waiting to be set free once we learn to see beyond. Thanks for tuning in to Monday Motivation with Mykee, and see you next week for your weekly dose of motivation and more every Mondays. Thank you.
Isang masayang araw sa ating lahat. Nandito na naman tayo ngayon upang magkaroon ng isang makabuluhang talakayan sa mga usaping pangkabataan. Dito sa programa kung saan mga kabataan ang bida. Ito ang Kaya Mo? Kaya Ko Rin. Again, this is Chona at magkakasama ulit tayo sa loob ng isang oras habang na-inspire sa mga kwento ng tagumpay ng ating mga guests. Kaya kahit ano man ang kwento mo, dito may sagot ang mga katanungan mo. At habang nakikinig po kayo, pwede rin kayong mag-send ng mga katanungan sa ating official Facebook account, ang GBS Philippines, at sasagutin yan ng ating guest. I-like nyo lang po ang official page ng GBS Philippines at pwede kayong magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan at pagbati. Just type in your name, address, at edad at isend nyo po personally sa amin. Diba sikat po ang kasabihang habang may buhay, may pag-asa. Pero ang totoo, habang may pag-asa, may buhay. Tayo ay nabubuhay dahil sa pagkakaroon ng pag-asa para sa bukas, para sa mga bagay na nais nating makamit, para sa mga inaasam natin. Ang dahilan kung bakit ang tao ay patuloy na bumabangon kahit madapa ay dahil mayroong pag-asa na nabubuhay sa puso niya. Kaya anumang pagsubok ang kaharapin natin, lagi lang nating tandaan na this too shall pass away. Lilipas din yan at darating ulit ang bukas para sa bagong simula. Noong nakaraan po, nakasama natin ang ating mga guests from Between Dance Team at mula din sa kanila, natuto tayo ng napakaraming mga bagay. Ngayong araw naman po, isang espesyal na guest ang ating makakapanayam. Why I said special? Because we invited a guest all the way from Thailand, the land of smiles. Siyempre, hindi naman ako marunong mag-Thai language, pero medyo dudugo ilong natin ngayon dahil mag-i-English po tayo. Our guest today is someone very close to my heart. I met her in Japan like more than 3 years ago. We were always together back then since we are a team and we had a lot of unforgettable experiences together. You'll know more later on. I really admire her because you can learn a lot from her. One thing amazing about her is that she can speak 3 languages fluently and maybe more. Let's find out. So this episode will really fit to those who are looking for inspiration while learning new language. So without further ado, let's all welcome Miss Jane Sinto.
Magandang araw po! Hi guys, I'm Jane from Thailand. Right now I'm living in Bangkok. Have you ever been here before? This place is really wonderful place and have a lot of good street food. Please come and enjoy. If you come here, please tell me. Then I will bring you travel around Bangkok. Hi!
Yeah, I would love to go travel around Bangkok. I've never been to Thailand before. So what are like the things that I can like find when I go to Thailand?
Actually, I could say that have so many activity here and many interesting place. Like if you like shopping, they have so many, the local market, like 40 market, is really famous in Thailand that people will, they will sell something on the board and people will go and visit them.
Yeah, I heard about this boat market.
Yeah, please come if you have a chance. And so we also have the natural tourist place, like you can ride the elephant, go around the historical place. It's really famous in Istorya. Maybe you heard about it before or see some photo on the travel website or something.
I just see people riding an elephant whenever they go to Thailand. I think that's the most famous thing people do when they go to Thailand. So I want to try that one too.
Yeah, it's really famous. Like someone thinks like we Thai people riding elephant to the school. They also say something like that before. It's so funny.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Jen. And yeah, I hope our listeners who are listening right now can be like not only right now because yeah, we have a guest from Thailand, but I hope that we can also travel to Thailand and then yeah, experience what you have just said earlier. So yeah, Jen can actually speak English, obviously, right? So Thai language also since she is from Thailand and she's also very good in Japanese. Do you know that? Yeah. I told you earlier we've been together in Japan, right? That's why she can speak Japanese fluently. So I'm not sure if there are still other languages she's currently learning, but being able to speak 3 languages really is amazing, right? So before we get to know more about her, Jane, can you introduce yourself in Thai language?
Okay, sure. I would love to. สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ เจนนะคะ จากประเทศไทยค่ะ ตอนนี้อาศัยอยู่ที่กรุงเทพนะคะ ไม่ทราบว่าเคยมาที่ไทยหรือเปล่า ถ้ามาก็มาเที่ยวกันนะคะ ขอให้สนุกค่ะ You understand it?
No. I just know Sawadika. I usually hear that before. So yeah, and the rest,
it's Thai greeting.
I don't know.
What I just say that I just invite you guys to come to Thailand and travel here, something like that. But actually, it's the same dialogue with the English greeting that I said before.
Okay, we'll definitely go to Thailand. Please invite us after the lockdown.
Okay, please come.
Yes.
We have so many waiting for you here in Thailand.
Yay! Excited! So this time, let's hear Jen speaking in Japanese. Can you do it for us?
Sure, I would love to do. はい、はじめまして、ジェンと申します。今、バンコクに住んでいます。タイの日系の会社で働いてますので、日本語を勉強しています。皆さんに、自分の体験を伝える機会があって、本当に嬉しいです。よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。Wow.
Hi.
Well, can you explain it to our listeners what it means?
I just introduce myself in Japanese, and then I said like I'm working under the Japanese company, so right now I'm studying Japanese for my work, and to have a chance to be here with you guys, I'm really grateful, something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. You hear that? She's really great, right? Like Thai language, switch to Japanese, and then now we're speaking in English. So actually, I'm a bit worried because I may not be able to follow with English. But well, thank you very much, Jen, for giving your precious time today, and of course our listeners, especially those who are learning new language, will surely be inspired on how you were able to learn these languages. And yeah, I hope that they could get the inspiration and motivation to keep on learning new language. Of course, not only new language, but of course other things as well. So yeah, I'm really curious, like, how is it possible that you can speak 3 languages really well?
Oh, actually, it's really difficult for me to answer this question because myself still think that I'm not good at any language. I still need to improve myself. So, but what I can say that learning another language is not a difficult thing for you guys. But the important thing is the heart to learn and the heart to improve yourself in other language.
I see. You should have the heart, yeah, just like what Jen said. When you're learning, it's very important to have your heart poured. Another thing is like if you have the goal, right? Like when when there is something that you wanted to achieve, then you really try to do your best to get that thing that you wanted to get. So yeah, I think having the heart and learning something is really essential. So yeah, take it from Jen. Like if you wanted to learn, study by heart. So that's what she wanted to tell you. Well, basically because Jen is from Thailand, so she speaks very, very fluently in Thai. But being able to speak in English is a different thing. FYI, for our listeners, Thailand has a different approach in learning English. And like here in the Philippines, most of the Filipinos can speak English because we have more opportunities in learning it. So if you speak English in Thailand, that's something that you can be so proud of. So yeah, let's ask Jen let's ask her to share her story on how she learned English. Jen, can you do it for us?
Sure, but please don't laugh at me, okay? Okay. Actually, I maybe sound funny, but I start learning English from comics because that time I'm not really interested in English because it's not my official language. So I just study English in the university only. Yeah, also in high school. But that time I'm really into the Japanese comic and I'm really want to read it every day, something like that. And I could say it's really, but I have to wait too long when they translate into Thai. So that time I think, okay, I don't wait anymore. I will just read in English. At first it's really difficult for me because I'm not good in English at all. But because I really want to read it, so I just check the vocabulary and grammar one by one. What does it mean? What the story is talking about and what they say. So that time I'm start to improve my English and then remember all the grammar and vocabulary that I learned. So it's somehow like when you listen to the song and you can remember the lyrics. Yeah, it's the same way that I study my English.
I see. That's really great. Like it's really cool. Like here in the Philippines, when I started to learn English, actually we started learning English at a very young age because it's part of the curriculum. Like kindergarten, your teacher would ask you, how do you call this? Oh, that's a dog. Oh, that's a cat. That's a chicken, something like that, And then when you're home, your parents would like ask you, what did you learn today in school? What is this in English? And what's this in English? Something like that, like the basic words. And then, yeah, elementary and then high school. And of course, until college or university, we keep on learning English. So because here in the Philippines, like when you're finding work, one of the requirements for you to have the job, like a better job, is if you can speak English. If you don't, then yeah, you can have the job, but not very high pay, something like that. So it's very common here in the Philippines that Filipinos can speak English and can understand English. So yeah, I think the way you learn English and the way you're speaking English right now is really amazing because yeah, you mentioned it's just from comics, right? You had the interest in reading comics. That's really great. So is there any other language that you are currently learning aside from English and Japanese?
Actually, right now I'm interested in Korean because I have a lot of friends, Korean friends, and somehow I would like to talk with them in Korean. And also, I also like the K-pop song. Do you know Blackpink? They're really famous in Thailand. Somehow I just want to listen to their song without see the translation. Just want to listen and then understand them directly. So, but I'm not start yet.
You know, I'm actually learning Korean language too, because you know, I think not only in Thailand but here also in the Philippines, Korean fever is really, you know, it's famous, like K-pop, K-drama. I'm not really into K-pop, but I'm a bit addicted to K-drama, especially when I was in college. Like I usually watch K-drama like even late nights like that. So yeah, recently I don't have yeah, recently I didn't have much time, but yeah, if I have time I sometimes watch K-dramas. But yeah, one reason why I wanted to learn Korean language is that I don't want to keep reading subtitles whenever I watch K-dramas. So I think it's better to learn Korean language so it won't be too difficult for me to understand what the actors and actresses are saying, right?
Yeah, I also have the same idea. Like, because if I hang out with a Korean friend and then they just talking in Korean, so I'm just like out of the group and then what are they saying? So I just want to be included in this conversation too.
Yeah, like I also do have a lot of like Korean friends, and yeah, whenever they talk, I also wanted to understand what they are saying. So yeah, learning Korean language I think is really necessary, and yeah, I'll try. I'll try.
Okay, me too. Let's try together.
Yeah, let's try together. So what is the most difficult thing in learning a new language, and how did you overcome it?
For me, the difficult thing is just like structure and language culture, because when you speak in English, you can just talk with everyone freely, but when you talk in Japanese, you have to think about the position of the people you're talking with or the age gap. So somehow it's really difficult because they have so many level of language, and also they have the culture that something you can use and something you cannot use. This expression can use, but in other situation cannot use something like this. So somehow it's really difficult for me because I'm not native speaker, and it's just like if I try to translate them from Thai directly, then it maybe makes like a misunderstanding to other people.
Yeah, and I totally understand, because yeah, I was learning Japanese language. Like yeah, we were together learning Japanese language before, and yeah, I have the same experience. Like when can I use this like level of politeness, something like that. Like there are like, if it's your friend then you can talk casually, but if it's someone older than you, then you have to use more polite way of speaking. And then if it's something like very formal situation, then there's a more polite way of speaking, something like that. So yeah, I totally understand. And what about in work? It's the same thing, right? Like when you're
when I talk to my boss, or they have their working level. I don't know how to say, but it's like they have the word for working. Talk to supplier in this way and talk to your boss in this way. So you have so many things, like you have to concern and beware if you talk with someone. It's really different from English.
That's true. I actually like in my work also, I usually send like emails like that, and then emails is like it's more polite, something like that. And then I always get confused, like which word should I use? Is it better to use this one or that one? It actually has the same meaning, but the level of politeness are different. So I always get confused which one is the best thing to use, something like that. So yeah, these are the challenges when you're learning new things like Japanese language. But yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah, it's fun, and like I love to learn something new.
Yeah. So I also experienced that while learning a new language, there are times that I felt like giving up. because every time I look at myself, it seems nothing is improving despite my efforts in studying. So have you also felt this way? And can you tell us how you keep your motivation in learning?
Okay. Actually, everyone should have hard time. So I also do have some. But at first, I would try to remind myself that I'm not native speaker. I'm not Japanese. I'm not. So that's why, in this way, it's okay to make some mistake. It's okay that if you use the wrong grammar or you just use the wrong vocabulary or something like that, it's okay because you're not native. So when you tell yourself about it, then you will know that. So if you make some mistake, then or when you feel like you want to give up, so that time you will realize that yourself have to improve. And then if you want to overcome this, so your Japanese or the language that you're learning will improve a lot. What I would like to say that giving up is not the bad thing. It's really like a thankful feeling, because when you feel give up, that means you will want to improve more and more. And then for the people who think like they're already perfect, so they cannot like improve anymore, and then they will stop at that point. That's why when you feel giving up, just feel thankful and then keep going. In my case, if I feel like I want to give up, then I will just talk to native speaker. When I talk with them and then they say something to me or something that I don't know, but I feel like I want to talk with them more. I want to know more. So in this way, I will feel like, yeah, I will go back and then study again, and I will improve myself. And then next time, if I talk to them, I will talk to them like fluently, or I don't know how to say, but yeah. I mean, if I come back and talk with them again, then we can understand each other more, or I can understand what they're talking. So it's just so when I feel that way, I will do like this.
Yeah, that's really great advice from Jen. So to all our listeners, yeah, take it from her. So as she mentioned, like if you felt like giving up, it's really a good thing, because it means you're feeling difficult, and then that means you're learning something new. If you think that you're already perfect and that you already know everything, then there's no more room for you to improve yourself. But if you keep on making mistakes and you felt the most difficult part in learning, then that means you're learning a lot of things, a lot of new things. So it's a good thing. So yeah, just like what Chen said, it's good. So yeah, of course there are so many benefits on learning new language. So let's ask Jen, what are the benefits of knowing a lot of languages?
Oh, I have so many things to say. I think it's more than 1 hour that I can talk all about it. But yeah, if you learn new language, yeah, for sure that you can make new friends, new friendship, new knowledge, new culture, and many things that you can name it, because different culture, different country also have something different from your country. That's why everything is really new for you to learn and to discover. It's just like today that I have a chance to share my experience to you guys. Or also the same way as me and Chona. Actually, we should be strangers, right? We live in a different country, the Philippines and Thailand, but because we decide to challenge our limitation through volunteer program, so we become friends and fighting for 1 year. Actually, it's just like, yeah, we have a good time, and yeah, sometimes we fighting, but
Yes.
because of that, after we finish the volunteer program, we become really close and just like keep in touch with each other. when we have something to discuss or talk, or just want to talk about something nonsense, you have one more friend to talk about it. And it's really fun.
Yeah, that's true. Well, do you remember like the ramen fight when we usually like eat ramen during lunchtime? Because
Yes.
like you wanted the egg to be
like to mix with the I want the boiled egg.
Yeah,
then
you
we
want the
can
boiled
share.
egg, and then I want it mixed with the soup. And
So,
then yeah, we don't we don't talk, and then suddenly
Yeah.
we get a fight. Why did you do that to the egg?
yeah,
should be-
I remember. I remember everything you said that time. That time is really seriously fight. Just like we really want to win. Like, yeah, this time I will win. So I just told you like, why you don't do? So many things happen, but when we look at it right now, it's really nonsense. It's just like so fun. Like it's really funny why we fight over something like that.
Yes, it's like so childish. Like when I remember it, like we fought because of the egg in ramen. Like I wanted it together with the soup mixed, but he wanted it boiled, something like that. But yeah, it's very petty thing, but we fought over it. But yeah, it's a very unforgettable experience. And although we have these differences, but because we can communicate, we can talk, so we fight. We fight, and then later on we will understand each other, and we become good again, something like that. And you know, I also had an experience before. Like it was my first time arriving in Japan. Like I when I arrived in Japan, I didn't really know anything about Japan. Like I don't even know how to read and to write, and even the culture of the Japanese people, I didn't know anything. And then the first day I arrived in Tokyo, I was so thirsty, and then I was like, how can I ask for water, something like that, because I couldn't speak Japanese, so I just went to the kitchen and then asked for a cup. And I was doing body language, can you like give me cup, something like that. And then there was a woman, she was talking to me purely in Japanese. I was like, what is she saying, something like that. And then all the people around me, they were laughing, and I was like, what's going on, something like that. And then someone told her like, oh, it's her first day in Japan and she doesn't know any Japanese, so just give her water and let her go. Maybe that's what the person said, because I didn't understand anything. So the woman just gave me cup and then let me go. And during the time I was so embarrassed, but that experience also taught me a lot. Like every time I talk with other people, I always say that experience. And it was an embarrassing experience, but it was a great experience as well, because starting that time I told myself I have to learn Japanese. I should communicate with other people. So yeah, that was the most unforgettable experience for me while I was learning this new language, but it was a challenge also. Like, do you have also an embarrassing experience or any experience when you first came to Japan and having this kind of things?
Actually, it's maybe 2 weeks after when I arrived to Japan. It's just like, because that time I feel so difficult to talk in Japanese, because at first when I was in Thailand before I went to Japan, I think I can speak Japanese. But when I really there, it's just like for the day seeing, and then I don't know anything. So that time I just want to keep myself, and like I don't want to make any mistake, and also. But when I didn't say anything, so my Japanese is not improved, right? And
Yes.
One day I want to go to Don Quixote, if you remember the department
Don
store.
Quixote.
Yeah, and if you want to go there, you have to across the, I don't know how to say, across the
pedestrian lane.
Odang-hodo.
Yeah, the pedestrian lane.
Pedestrian lane.
Yeah,
I don't
pedestrian.
know how to say it. And then I will say across the road. It's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to go to the Don Quixote, you have to across the road, and that time I really don't know how to go there, and Then some Japanese guy comes next to me, so I just start my Japanese, like try to use all I can remember that time, and then ask him like, can you teach me how to press the button? I don't know why, but yeah, because the traffic in Japan, they would have some button to press before they change to red the red line for people, right?
Yes, yes.
So the time is just, but I don't know where is that bottle. So I asked him like, can you teach me how to press the button? And then he just like, what? So, but that time, so I just used the body language to say to him like, I want to across the road, and he just like, oh, okay, I will bring you there. You no need to do anything, and he really tried to understand me and try to talk with me in English, basic English. And then that time I realized that, oh, even if cannot speak Japanese, but he still tried his best to talk with me, and he tried to understand my Japanese. So this how to say, this memory made me inspire me to want to improve my Japanese really. Like that time I think like, oh, it's not scary at all. Just learn and then talk with them. So this one is really unforgettable memories for me.
Yeah. For the information of all our listeners, Don Quixote actually is like a store. It's like the pure gold here in the Philippines. Like you can go to buy anything, like stuffs, any kind of stuff you wanted to buy in a cheaper price. So yeah, when we were in Japan, we usually go to Don Quixote and try all the testers there, like the perfume testers, the makeup testers, right?
Everyone just go with the, how to say, supin, go with the very face, like no makeup. And then when you went to Don Quixote and come out, so it's just like you already wear makeup, the full cost makeup.
Yes, that's true. Because all the testers are complete, like from the eyes and then from to the face and then to the lips and everything. So yeah, it's all for free. Just go to Don Quixote. Yeah, so for those who wanted to experience Japan, you should also experience Don Quixote. Yes. So how did the skill of being able to speak many languages helps you in your current job?
Yeah, this really helped me a lot in my work, because right now I'm working under Japan company in Thailand. So my boss is Japanese. Then I can talk with her in daily life in Japanese. And when I talk with the customer or my supplier, I can talk in Thai. And also because I'm working as microbiologist, so I have to improve my knowledge and read a lot of research paper, and most of them is in English. So that's why I still have to use 3 languages in my job.
Wow,
it's really useful because it's really useful because sometimes I can just like talk to Thai people and then translate to my boss, or translate my boss word to Thai people, something like that. It's just like translator sometimes.
See, do you experience sometimes being confused, like you actually have to speak in Japanese, but suddenly you're speaking in English, or you actually have to talk in Thai, but then suddenly you're talking in English, something like that?
Yes, every day.
Every day.
Even right now, also even right now, because I could say that I really comfortable with Japanese. So sometimes it's really difficult for me to try to remember English, like what this word and what that to say in English. As you can see that my grammar is really messy somehow, because when I want to try to speak in English, then my how to say, my thought is will become like Japanese before English. So sometimes it's really slow, and then some vocabulary that I cannot remember. So I would just want to say that in Japanese. How to say, sometimes I think my Japanese is better than my Thai.
Really?
Because
Wow.
because I use it every day, and so sometimes I also mix English and Japanese together.
That's really
But,
great.
but it's fortunately that my boss can understand both English and basic Thai, so it's become more easier to talk with my boss.
Let's see. You know, like when I like applied for work, of course everybody wanted salary, right? But another thing is that because I wanted to improve my Japanese, something like that. So I applied for a work that has to do with Japanese language. So at first, like, it was too difficult for me because there was a time like my boss asked me to translate a letter like that. And you know, in Japanese there are Chinese characters, right? And I couldn't read
Yeah.
all. Like for those who are learning Japanese language, I think you can relate. Like there are hundred thousands of Chinese characters that you can't memorize all. And then my boss is asking me to translate that one, and then I was so like I was in a hot seat that time. I was like, oh, how am I supposed to translate this? Like, what am I supposed to do? Something like that. Because my boss doesn't know. He doesn't know like Japanese has this kind of complicated like letters that there are times that you cannot read. Even Japanese people can't read all, something like that. But they have this stereotype like, since this is the job that you applied for, so you need to do it, something like that. Like the company is paying you for this kind of job, you have to translate this Japanese, something like that. But during that time I couldn't explain it to him because of course he wouldn't know, something like that. And I was so stressed. And yeah, it didn't just happen once, it happened many times, and I always had those stress. And it was the most difficult part for me, like the first month of my like working experience, because I am currently working as like a Japanese language support like that. And then the first month was really stressful for me. And you know, even in my dreams I have this like I'm carrying the works even in my dreams. Like at night I'm sleeping, and then suddenly I hear my boss like telling me to do this kind of job, do that kind of job. And then when I wake up I feel like I'm so tired even more because those kinds of stressful situations. But right now, I feel like I'm a bit used to it, so it's not too stressful anymore. So for those who are learning, when you're learning something new and then when you're experiencing a new thing, the first time is really difficult. Everything will be it won't be easy at first, but later on you'll get used to it, and it's like just eating candy, something like that. Maybe, but right now it's not that easy. But it's not too difficult anymore, unlike the first time I was doing it. So how about you, Jen? When you were like starting your work, and then you have to speak in English and Japanese, what were your stressful situations back then?
Actually, I could say that I face it a lot because of my work is I'm really not good at mathematics. But I have just to speak with them about mathematics in Japanese, and I don't know any word about that. So it's really difficult for me because I have to understand them in another language. And sometimes because of my work is just like laboratory work, is very complicated because you cannot have any mistake on your analysis or something like that. So sometimes if you cannot understand your boss word, like she want to order me in Japanese or ask me to do something in Japanese, but because they have a lot of technical terms that I don't understand. So that time it's really difficult for me. Like, can you speak English instead? Can you use your body language to explain me something like that? But at first it's really difficult, as you say, like because I feel like it's too much for me to understand, and I don't want to learn more about it because it's really stressful. But so many times that you face this kind of situation, then I become just like, I know that word. I heard about it before. Yeah, I already studied yesterday, and I know this one. So because of when I have a lot of this kind of hard time, then I learn so many things. So it right now it feels so much fun, and so feels so challenged, better than previous time that I may feel stressful. But right now it's really a good opportunity to learn something new.
I see. That's really a good news. So actually there's a saying that says the limits of my language mean the limits of my world. What can you say about this quote?
For me, I think it's really true because as I mentioned before, there have so many benefits when you learn other language more than your native language, right? And
Yes.
maybe someone may think like, why do I have to learn more when just my native language is enough for my daily life or for my job? But I could say that it's no right or wrong answer for you. But for me, I will try to explain you in my way. So let's think about if you know just only your native language, it's just like the same way that you living in your village, So you do something as usual, like your daily life, eat the same menu or meet the same people as yesterday, something like that. But when you think about, there are also another village that's close to your village. They have their own culture, people, their food, or anything. But don't you think it's fun to like exchange everything that your village have and the other village have? So it's the same way that if you learn a new language, you have a chance to talk with new people and have a chance to try new food or try to learn some new culture. So it's really fun. But that's why if you have the limitation in your language, so you cannot it's just like the limit of your world too.
Yes. That's
And
for
also
real.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
and maybe your soulmate will live somewhere like in other foreign country. So that's why you have to improve the other language. Just
Yeah.
maybe my soulmate is somewhere else, not in Thailand. So that's why I will learn a lot of language and then can meet him someday.
Which country do you think is your soulmate from?
Oh, I pray every day that it should be Japan.
That's
Really
why
hope
you're
so.
so motivated in learning Japanese language.
Yes, because I think it's really important, right? Maybe your soulmate that was born in the other country, and if you just know your native language, maybe you cannot communicate with him. It's really difficult to meet him, right? So that's why everyone, please study hard in. Don't give up.
Fighting then.
Yeah, fighting.
応援しています。Yeah, that's really great. So, to all our new language learners over there, what advice can you give them?
Sure, but actually, I think they have so many as why I want to tell them, but only two things that I want them to remember. The first thing, please, learning with joy. What I want to say that please find your own way, your own method to study, because languages have so many ways to learn. It's not the same it's not the same as math or physics. They not have the fixed solution or the fixed method to do. So please find your own way to study, then you can enjoy and learn it with joy. The same way as me, like sometimes I feel like I want to study with comics or Japan series or Japanese song, so that way I can improve my Japanese too. That's why you should find your own method to learn. The second thing that please keep in your mind that you're not native speaker, so it means that it's okay to make some mistake. It's okay if you use the wrong grammar or like you don't know the vocabulary, so it's okay because you're not native. And then when you keep in mind like this, so you can improve yourself. Like, okay, I will study more and then I will improve myself more. So when you have a heart to improve yourself, then you can take the other people heart who want to teach you, so you can learn from them too.
Yes, thank you very much. That's a great lesson. So just like what Jen mentioned, if you wanted to learn something new, you have to do it your way. Like in her case, because she loves listening to Japanese music or reading comics, so she enjoyed doing it, and that's the way she's learning Japanese language, and she's enjoying it. So she's learning faster. So yeah, you too, if you wanted to learn, let's say Korean language, if you love watching K-dramas, so make it as your excuse. No, it's not an excuse. You can watch K-dramas and then of course learn Korean language at the same time. So yeah, why not, right? And she also mentioned like you should, yeah, it's okay not to be so perfect because we are not natives. So as long as you can communicate with other people and you can understand what they're saying, then that's already great. Because yeah, we're not so perfect to know everything. So yeah, it's actually great. So Jen, actually we have our listeners and they have some questions from you. So one of our like listeners wanted to ask a question is Anna. She's from Paranaque. So her question is, I'm currently learning Korean language. I've been learning for almost 2 years now, but I still cannot understand Korean dramas without reading the subtitles. So I still have hope. I think I have the same situation as her. So what can you advise her?
Okay. Sorry, Chona, how long did they start learn Korean?
2 years. Like I've been learning for almost 2 years now, but I still cannot understand K-dramas without reading the subtitles. Do I still have hope?
Okay. First of all, you have to believe that you will be good in Korean. So you have to believe it. And as I mentioned before that we are native speaker, so it's normal for you that even 2 years pass and then you cannot speak it well. So it's really normal, right? And after you learn it for 2 years, please compare like the first time that you know nothing about Korean and compare to now that you learn something. Even you cannot speak well or you cannot explain what you want to say at all, but it's better than the first time, right? That means you have a hope too. And also what I want to say that people always want to be successful quickly, but everyone has to complete it by step. Same way as you first begin for riding the bicycle, the first time is really difficult and then you may fail so many times. But if you keep going, then you can ride the bicycle. Yeah, that's what I want to say, that everything have to take time. So please keep going.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jen. So everything has to take time. It's like what Jen said. Just keep on going. Okay, Anna? Okay, then we have another question. This time our question is from Trisha. She's from Valenzuela. So her question is, I'm learning Japanese language too because I really like animes. I do self-study by learning through the internet, but I don't think it's really effective. Is there any other method that you can recommend?
Okay, then I will recommend you like how I study. Actually, I will try to make myself like try to build the environment to be like I'm in Japan, or how to, whatever that the environment is, so you can use to the Japanese. First, I will like when I study, I maybe turn on the Japanese song or some like the communication in Japanese. They also have the shadowing. I don't know if you know about this, but it's just like people are talking and have communication. So that's why if you listen to this, it just feels like the same way that you are with native speaker. And also, please make some native friends and try to talk with them in Japanese. In this way, then you can use your Japanese every day and also have a chance to practice and learn from the native. So the second thing that I want to suggest to you, because I always study or remember the vocabulary by use the similar sound from Thai word. So maybe you can just use the catalog, right?
Yes,
Or,
Tagalog.
yeah, or anything that you use as usual. So please find the same similar sound and then try to remember this like, oh, this Japanese word sound like this word, so it means something like this. So in this way you can remember and you can like 思い出すはなんだっけ recall, so you can recall it immediately. Hope it helped you.
So thank you so much. So Trisha, now you have new tips from Jen. So yeah, try to do these kinds of methods and maybe it will help you improve your Japanese studies. So yeah. And we have one more question, last question. So this time it's from Feby. She's from Pasig. Her question is like, I was really excited to learn Korean language at first, but while learning, the topics become more and more complicated and I started to feel bored. How can I keep myself motivated?
Okay, for this question, as I mentioned before, that you have to learn with joy and find your own method to learn. Because if you can learn with joy and then you know what is the best way for you to learn, so then you can enjoy it and feel like this is your hobby, it's not study. So when you feel like, oh yeah, it's my beloved hobby, so every time that you feel like difficult, this one is really difficult, but yeah, I want to challenge it, I want to come over it. So when you feel like this way, nothing become problem. Because you like it, that's why you learn it. Don't think as a study, but please think like do something like you really like it, it's your hobby. And if sometime you feel like you want to give up or anything, you can take some rest, because learning language is the same way that like you are riding on the long road. Like they have no, actually the destination we don't know, because yeah, language can change following the time. So you have to learn something like that. So it's okay if you just take some rest and just enjoy every single thing that you found on the road, because it's okay just to start a bit by a bit, like keep going a bit by a bit. No need to rush yourself, or no need to speed yourself to just achieve your goal, but just do it. Just do it as you like, and just keep going, because this is what you want to do. Is not the order from someone to ask you to do. That's why please enjoy what you really want to do.
Yeah, that was a great advice. Actually, I think your advice not only for our listeners, because while I'm listening to it, yeah, I can really relate. I need those.
Yeah.
I'm also learning Japanese language, and it's like learning for a lifetime, as you mentioned. It's like a long journey. Like you don't know until where, but yeah, as you mentioned, we have to enjoy the journey. Like if you feel tired, then you can rest. And yeah, the best thing I think I love about it is like when you mentioned, let's not think that you need to study hard. Just think it's like your hobby. It's not that
Yeah.
you need to study. So, but because if it's your hobby, then you're enjoying it, right? So yeah, I think that's what I should inculcate in my mind, like learning. My Japanese is not improving every time because I'm so lazy in studying. So yeah, I think I should make Japanese language a hobby, not something that I should learn really hard, because yeah, it's making me feel bored and tired. And yeah, as you mentioned, it's something that you have to learn for a lifetime. So yeah, we have to take step by step and not force ourselves. Thank you so much, Jane, for sharing your experiences to us. And just like what our guest mentioned, we have to find happiness in what we do so we can smoothly sail in whatever goal we wanted to achieve. And of course, we should never lose hope, because that's the way we survive the challenge. Let's say in learning a new language, we experience the difficult part, but this too shall pass away, right? And later on in our lives, we'll have these precious memories in how we did it. So yeah, again, thank you so much to all our listeners. Maraming salamat po sa patuloy na pagtangkilik dito sa programa kung saan mga kabataan ng bida. Ito ang Kaya Mo, Kaya Ko Rin.
Hello everyone, this is Moment to Meet Others' Heart. Like a river, there is the way that heart flows. Ladies and gentlemen, sa araw na ito, ating tunghayan ang pag-ibig ng ating ina.
Muna natin sila isa-isa.
Good day everyone. My name is Hannah Paquera and I am 13 years old and I am studying at North Fairview High School.
Wow, 13 years old.
Batang-bata.
Yes.
Hello po, ako naman po si Feby and kasalukuyan po akong nag-aaral bilang Senior High School, Grade 12 sa Lincoln School of Arts and Languages.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tricia Macy Daliza and I'm 17 years old at nag-aaral po ako sa Lincoln School of Arts and Languages.
Magkaklase kayong
Same
dalawa?
school.
Yes po.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Resurrection. I'm 21 years old and nag-aaral ako sa Lincoln School of Arts and Languages.
So silang tatlo ay same school sila.
Yes.
Si Miss Hannah ay
Galing sa North
galing
Fairview
sa
High School.
Fairview.
Okay.
So, junior high school po kayo, Miss Hannah?
Opo.
Okay. So, this time, may sasabihin po kaming 5 questions. 5 tanong na tingnan natin kung gaano nyo kakilala yung sarili ninyo. Okay? So, start na natin, Miss Jen.
Okay, para sa unang tanong. Okay, para sa unang tanong. Ano ang favorite food mo? Who would like to be the first one to answer?
Ano lang po,
Yes.
favorite food ko po is yung mga seafood, pero yung shrimp talaga yung pinakagusto ko.
Okay, shrimp.
Wow.
Yes. Next.
Ako po, ang favorite ko po is macaroni salad and especially yung mga sweets.
Ay, sweet na bata. Okay.
Okay, si Miss Rebecca naman po. Ano naman po yung favorite food niyo?
Ang favorite food ko naman is seafood and then especially sa ice cream.
So pag pinagsamang Miss Feby at
Ang ganda
saka
ng combination,
Tricia.
Seafood plus ice cream. Tingnan nga natin yung last. Si Miss Hannah.
Ako po, ang favorite food ko po is anything that is made of chocolate.
Okay.
Sweet din.
Sweet
Sweet.
din.
Ikaw, Miss Marjorie, palagay ko lahat ata gusto mo ng pagkain.
Actually, gusto ko lahat. So, sa tingin ko is pinagsama silang 4. Yun yung favorite food ko.
Palagay ko nga ganun.
Ngayon, nung bata kayo, ano ba yung nickname nyo?
Ano ba yung nickname?
Natatandaan niyo po ba? Tingin ko medyo fresh pa dahil medyo bata-bata pa yung mga estudyante natin ngayon, mga guest natin.
Ako, ano ba yung nickname ko? Hindi ko matandaan yung nickname ko eh.
Parang wala akong nickname.
Ako yung nickname ko, talagang sobrang ganda ng nickname ko.
Ano ba yung nickname mo?
Kasi that time, nung kapapanganak pa lang ako, sobrang sikat nung Romeo and Juliet.
Ay,
Pero yung lola ko, hindi niya mabigkas yung Juliet. Alam niyo yung pinangalan sa akin, yung nickname sa akin, Juliet!
ay, kaya pala.
Kaya hanggang ngayon, actually, pag narinig ng mga kaklase ko yung nickname ko, oy, Juliet!
Hindi pala galing sa Marjulet. Juliet. Romeo and Juliet.
Nakikita naman yata sa itsura.
Okay. So, naalala niyo po ba yung mga nickname ninyo?
Yung nickname ko naman is, nung bata ako is Putantan.
Putantan? Bakit po Putantan? Your name is Rebecca, am I right?
Talaga.
How come na Putantan?
Ang ganda naman pangalan.
Mukhang nahiya ata si Miss Rebecca na i-share. Okay. So anyway, Putantan. Wow. It's my first time to hear that.
Ako din.
Okay. Yes, kayo. Kahit yung nickname, kung pareho lang ba na name?
Ako na lang po. Ang nickname ko nung bata ako is Pango kasi
Wala silang pruweba.
Miss Myla, pangu daw. Miss Myla, pangu daw. Okay, okay.
nung bata ko, yung mga kababata ko kasi,
Matangos ilong.
hindi. Hindi din kasi. Ako yung may
Pinakapango.
pinakapango na ilong.
Contest na. Okay.
So, ako naman po, yung nickname ko magmula bata hanggang ngayon is Neg.
Neg? Bakit
po.
Neg?
Sobrang interesting yan. Wait lang.
Hindi ko
Mystery
rin
siya,
alam
bakit
kung
Neg?
Hindi niyo rin alam kung bakit.
Dahil po sa skin color.
Neg.
So,
Neg as in?
short lang.
Negra.
Negra. Okay, Negra. Okay. Yeah, ikaw naman, ikaw, Feby.
Hindi ko po matandaan ng bata ko, pero tinatawag po nila ako ng Pabebe daw kasi yung pangalan
Pabebe?
ko, Feby. Tapos nauso nun yung mga Pabebe, gano'n.
Nagsimula pala sa kanya yung Pabebe. Masyado kang Pabebe. Masyado Pabebe. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, ang pangatlo naman naming katanungan is,